सॉरी, दैट वाज मेड अप। कई बार जिंदगी में आपके साथ होता है कि जब आप बड़े स्टेज पे होते हो तो चीजें शुरू होने के पहले ही आपको लगता है कि आप फेल कर गए। डोंट गिव अप। बहुत बार ऐसा होगा when something that's really important to you, when you go for your placement interview, when someone really important you're going to meet for the first time, even before it starts, you will probably feel that something has happened which shouldn't have happened at all. All you need to do is look back in your past. Today you are here not because someone else did something for you. Today you are here because you wanted to be here and you've made a place for yourself. Clap for yourself. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I come from an organization where mistakes cannot be corrected in next quarter. I come from an organization where work from home never happened. I come from an organization where if there is a mistake, the boss will not come to you and sit in a boardroom and tell you to sit on that Excel sheet and tell you to correct certain campaigns so that next time your numbers are better. Numbers is what we are all working and running after, right? I come from an organization where if you commit a mistake, somebody is wrapped in tricolor and reaches home. I come from an organization which almost works on 6 Sigma. This is like boarding a flight and if you are told that 99% you will land safely but there is 1% of glitch that we may not land safely. Will you take that route? I'm going to share certain parts of my life which changed me as an individual, which made me worthy standing here in front of you, good or bad, but that's the reality. Behind all of this, there is a boy from Gorakhpur. So I went to a Hindi medium school. I played cricket. पर मार्क्स अच्छे आ गए 10वीं में। मिडिल क्लास की सबसे बड़ी आयरनी, रिस्क टेकिंग कैपेबिलिटीज आर इन योर बूट्स। क्रिकेट खेलता पता नहीं कहां जाता, शायद कहीं नहीं जाता। But I chose academics because I had good marks. When I cleared my 12th, I had 82 marks in bio. My father decided for me that you will go in medical field. Sorted. Today we are very evolved and inclusive parents. In 12th we ask our kids, what do you want to do? Now this is a question that I have been struggling with. Are you ready to deal with that question when you are 17? That you can decide actually what you want to do. Anyways, coming back to my life journey. They decided and I started going to Sachdeva New PT College in Allahabad for my medical coaching. I was doing well. All of a sudden I was sent to one of my cousins who was doing his PG from KGMU, one of the renowned medical colleges in UP. I knocked his door and for 15 minutes he did not open his door. Single seater post graduation करने वाला बंदा 15 मिनट तक रूम नहीं खुला. I thought exactly what you guys are thinking. He opened the door and I'm not looking at him, I'm actually searching for someone else. And beyond a point, I didn't find anyone else and I was like, Akhilesh bhaiya, what took you so long to open the door? And there was this thick book in his lap and he was like, Babu, agar medical or doctory karni hai, to virasat mein mile to hi theek hai. And I'm talking about 1996 when these careers were not corporatized. The Medantas and the Max and you know that 9 to 5 medical profession was not existing at that point in time. I remember Dr. Chaturvedi. पेट दर्द, नाक दर्द, कान दर्द, गला दर्द, बुखार, जॉन्डिस, anything and everything. I don't know if my mother before we were born also consulted him only. एक डॉक्टर होते थे, सब कुछ वही करते थे. I came back. Sometimes knowing what you want to do in life is not as important, but knowing what you do not want to do in your life is more important. I think meeting Akhilesh bhaiya that day made it absolutely clear for me that medical is not something that I want to do in my life. I was a student in Allahabad. 450 रुपए के कमरे में मैं किराया देके रहता था. बगल के कमरे में मेरा भाई रहता था और वो 450 रुपए का कमरा इसलिए मैंने लिया था क्योंकि मुझे अब उस कमरे में रह के मेडिकल की तैयारी ना करनी पड़े. एंड आई स्टार्टेड प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर JNU. भैया के किसी दोस्त ने मुझे बताया था कि दिल्ली जाके पढ़ने के 2 रास्ते हैं, वन इज DU, वन इज JNU. JNU का माहौल अच्छा है. Well, 1999, when I was in the final year of my college, is when then my girlfriend, they wanted her to get married to somebody, and I reached out to my parents. I mean, sitting here, all of you, if you have a sister or you yourself, if you approach your parents for your marriage and you want to go and tell your father that I want to marry this guy, he is in 3rd year of college. So you know the answer that you'll get. Anyways, we reached out to everyone. Luckily, our parents were not the typical Eastern UP's Rajputs, and they allowed us little time, and we also wanted a little time. In 1 year's time, Kargil war happened, and the kind of respect, the lookout that the entire country had that time for the Indian Army was very, very different, and I think that was my first exposure to how Indian Army operated. 9:30 स्टार प्लस पे एक न्यूज आता था, and that was it. It was not the time that we are going through right now. The internet rage was not yet there in the market, and I filled up my form, and I don't know, people and I myself use this phrase very often, that I got lucky. I filled up my form in one shot. I cleared my written, I went for my SSB, I cleared my SSB, and I cleared my medicals. So no problem whatsoever. I got commissioned in 2001, but I always knew that I'm joining it for 5 years. That was short service commissioning that I opted myself. And after completing 5 years, the question was, if you want to step out in the civil, what kind of jobs will you get? So we were suggested that if you do a good MBA, you will get a better job. If you do not do MBA, then you will get let's get back to 2007. Let me put certain numbers in perspective so that you understand what I'm talking about. My last salary as a gazetted officer, captain in the Indian Army, was 18,665 rupees. If I get my PF deducted, 13131, 13,131 rupees was my takeaway. 2007. Minimum wage इससे ज़्यादा होगा आज के डेट में, unskilled का. Anyways. So looking at that, 6 lakh was something that the market was ready to offer to people who were coming out of the army without any MBA or professional degree. I decided to go for my MBA, which is Narsi Monji. I went there, I did good, bad, ugly, whatever. 14th of January 2008 was supposed to be my first day, but there is something very interesting that happened in between. How did I get into that job? Which was by Tatas. They played really smart, and they never came, they wanted to come to the campus for campus interview, but 1 week before the campus interview, they said that you guys come over to the office and we will interview here. Out of the batch, only 17 names were selected. So when they selected the names, my name was there, but unfortunately, just before the campus placement, I was home because I was already a father, my kids were in Banaras. And the course coordinator, you all will understand this term because I'm sure you guys also have a course coordinator who, you know, does all the coordination with the companies. He did not send my name. So I asked him, why did you not send my name? He said, कि तुम यहाँ पे थे नहीं, and it would have reflected bad on my coordination part that if you are not here, why your name is sent? Anyways, back then 1 महीने की सैलरी लगा के मैं बनारस से बॉम्बे पहुंचा 1 दिन पहले when everybody was to go to Tata's. I keep telling people मौके मिलते नहीं बनाने पड़ते हैं. This is one of the taglines. This is part of my bio. Next day morning, 15 names were there. 16th name, I was supposed to be that 16th name. I reached out to the lady who was on the reception and I asked if I can meet the HR. After about 10-15 minutes of struggle, I could meet the HR. There were 2 rooms where the interviews were supposed to happen. I was sent in one of the rooms where the VP HR, Ms. Vidya Jindal, was sitting. I went to her, I explained to her my problem. She spoke to me at length. After 10 minutes, my name was added in the list of 15 and mine was 16th name. 16 people were divided into 2 parts. Number 9, which was me, I went to the room which was supposed to be room number 2. The moment I opened the door, that room, that board was headed by Vidya Jindal. When I said, ma'am, may I come in? Her answer was, इससे तो इतनी देर बात कर चुके हैं, इसका क्या इंटरव्यू लेना? Ladies and gentlemen, my first job in Tata Interactive Systems as Senior Manager Business Analyst was done for 5 minutes, where they asked me whether you want sales or marketing, because it was a defense batch and they were ready to do a 1-month induction for everybody who was getting inducted with Tatas. So sometimes things that we feel is out of our reach, we feel that it is not destined for us, we feel that we have already lost this battle, it turns out to be a blessing. मैं वो अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर लेके सीधा कोर्स कोऑर्डिनेटर के सामने गया, उसके सामने कुछ मंत्र उच्चारण किए मैंने, बाकी लोग we love these mantras, right? And I left that place and I did not stay in Bombay. Again मैं वापस आ गया, मुझे लगा अब तो ये 9,72,000 रुपए का पैकेज लेके जाऊं कहाँ उड़ूं? I mean, imagine somebody who was getting 18,000 rupees, from there to 9,72,000 rupees in November 2007, and my job started on January 14, 2008. 3 months in my job. This is the second example that I want to quote here. I suddenly got a call on my desk. The guy who was calling me, he said, I'm Sunil Shetty and we want you to come for an audition. बहुत glorify करके मेरे को शो के बारे में बताया कि this show is going to be hosted by Akshay Kumar. There are 13 Bollywood actresses / models. They will go to Johannesburg and we are looking for their partners. मैंने बोला ऑडिशन कब है ये बताओ. And that guy, before I was leaving, he came and told me, please ask as much money you want to ask. आप पक्का जाओगे, 160 लोगों का ऑडिशन मैं कर चुका हूँ. You know how I felt? आप जब किसी इंटरव्यू के लिए जाते हो तो that HR guy never comes and tells you that you screw up, get lost. He still says कि it was nice meeting you, will get back to you. So I thought कि मीडिया इंडस्ट्री का नाम है कि आपका बहुत अच्छा हुआ, आप जरूर जाओगे, हम बताएंगे आपको. Anyways, I came back from there. 1 month down the line, I suddenly got a big envelope on my desk. 8 lakh rupees was the signing amount on page 1. And there was a fill in the blank where I had to put my daily numbers. The show was Khatron Ke Khiladi. And the channel that they were about to launch was Colors. So Colors was launched with Khatron Ke Khiladi. And I still had to go and tell them my daily numbers. When I was going there in the lift, I saw Meghna Naidu. How many of you know Meghna Naidu? Okay. Back then, Meghna Naidu got famous with this remake of Kaliyon Ka Chaman Jab Khilta Hai. So I was thinking of this song when I was dig करके ऊपर lift में जा रहा था. So I asked her very politely. अपनी calculation में करके गया था. 72,000 rupees is what I was getting take home, divided by 30. सारा calculation करने के बाद 2.5 के per day हो रहा था. I doubled it. 5,000 was the number that I had in my mind, that I will ask for 5,000 per day. I asked Meghna, how much are you asking? She said 2.5. मुझे लगा यार तू बड़ा exaggerated बंदा है. फिर मुझे अचानक लगा it's 2.5 lakh. फिर मैंने अपने आप को right size किया that she is Meghna Naidu. She is done कलियों का चमन जब खिलता है. There are people who want to watch her sing and dance. There are people who want to just listen to the song. There are people who want to mute and still want to see her dance. Who are you? Why would someone pay for you? Anyway, with all of this in my head, I reached there and I very clearly remember the name of Mr. Anand. Anandji was sitting with a piece of paper. I could see that blank where I had to put my numbers for every day. I was looking down and he was like, Captain, how much? सिर ऊपर करके मैंने बोला 50,000. Anand ji took 2 seconds, he turned the paper and he signed it. कौन बनेगा करोड़पति देखते हो? उसमें when you give the right answer and you don't know the next answer, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan signs a check of 12,50,000 rupees and he keeps it aside. Then he asks you कि अगर आपको जवाब देना होता तो आपका जवाब क्या होता? And you will say option C. आप जीत सकते थे 25 लाख रुपए. It was that moment. I'm not saying that I would have probably made a lakh, but I think if I negotiated hard, I would have probably reached a number of 70,000-80,000 rupees. Ladies and gentlemen, the point that I'm trying to make here is that I reached a stage of 13,000 rupees per month to a stage of 15 lakh rupees per year in a span of 1 year for things which I had never done before in my life. I had never been trained upon. It's just the leap of faith and exploring the unexplored, unleashing your own potential, something that you yourself do not know you are blessed with. If I ask this room sitting here that can you run? There is a 5-kilometer run tomorrow. I'm sure a lot of you would say no, a lot of you would say yes. But if all of you run, after the run, we will have at least 10 to 15% of you who would probably do better than the rest. And they from there can take off and take up running as a recreational sport for themselves. I came back from Fear Factor. I got into fitness. At an age of 42, I was awarded Fit India Ambassadors government thing because I started running. When I started running, I did my first Mumbai Marathon in 4 hours and 45 minutes. In 2019, I was diagnosed with hernia and I was running well. I thought my running journey will have a pause, and I never wanted that whole year to go without any fitness milestone coming my way or without any improvement in my fitness journey. So I reached out to Nehru Mountaineering Institute. My age was beyond the age that they specified on their portal, and hence they denied. I reached out to the principal, I wrote a special letter and I told him about everything that I have been doing, and almost became responsible for all the mountaineering institutes in the country to increase that age limit from 40 to 45. I went for that course only because I wanted to add something else to my portfolio of fitness, and I came back with an alpha grading of a mountaineer, and then I went for my, of course, operations. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, the point that I am trying to make here is, easy is never glorious. Okay, and it's very easy to say that follow your passion, but even the passion costs a lot of money. The juncture at which you guys are at this point in time in your life, financial independence is one of the most important aspects which will define and decide anything and everything from here in your life. Be it a boy, be it a girl, be it your parents or your husband or your girlfriend or your wife. You are respected when you are who you are, and that who is someone you need to create out of yourself. It's all within you. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.